First Take. Thank you for being with us. I'm Molly Karam. That's Louis Riddick. Obviously, it's Wednesday.
Yes, I'm here.
Favorite day of the week. Christopher Mad Dog Russo in the building. And I got your boy Essay on the big screen. Looking very presidential. How we doing, Dr. Evil?
Did you miss me?
Yes,
Did you miss me? My boys in the house. Doggy Dog. Little Mr. Chippendales. What's up, baby? Did y'all miss me? What's going on?
You know what? I mean, where are you right now? Are you down in Miami?
No, he's in LA.
Where are you?
No. I'm in LA. I'm here.
You can't tell the background?
I got a lot of stuff
LA.
going on here in LA.
Oh, you got a lot of stuff going on. What is it?
Whole bunch of stuff going on.
Are you playing brick today? Is that what you got going on? When's the next? You know, I was rehearsing your little gun shooting thing. You know, your little assassination.
Let me tell you something right now. I got a lot in place, ESPN and other things, but man, I'm also out here. You know, I'm on daddy duty, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm waking up, taking my baby girl to work, and doing all of this stuff. It's kind of crazy out here.
That's right.
Crazy.
That's right. All right.
For another day.
Okay.
Well, so wait for a change at 7:30. That's
breakfast.
Okay, I would love to hear Stephen A's agenda on Wednesday, July 30th. But guys, would you be cool if we talked a little football?
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Let's do
All
that. So as
why don't you sit up straight, Molly? Why don't you sit up straight instead of leaning?
Divisional takes. You're on a delay, Stephen A. Today, lock in on the NFC East. So let's look at America's team. Yes, Micah Parsons is still unsigned, meaning he has not yet agreed to a contract extension with the Cowboys, while folks have criticized Cowboys owner Jerry Jones for taking too long to pay his stars. His son, an executive VP of the team, Stephen Jones, went on 105.3 The Fan and spoke on the situation. Listen up, gentlemen.
We don't drag deals out. We do deals when there's an opportunity to do a deal. And certainly no one knows what goes on internally with a particular negotiation. But, sometimes agents and players aren't ready to pull the trigger till they see other cards play. Mm-hmm. And what we're not going to do is go out and, do something that's not responsible in terms of, just in the name of getting a deal done 1 month earlier. Go do it and pay the guy another $5 million of your cap space, and especially when you're dealing, in our particular case, internally with guys that are homegrown here, and we feel like they want to be here. I always felt like Dak wanted to be here. I always felt like CD wanted to be here.
Okay, Stephen A., a lot to unpack on that one. Are you buying Stephen Jones' comments?
I wouldn't buy a used car from Stephen Jones at this particular moment in time. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really, really is. You know, the words that are coming out of his mouth. We're not going to be irresponsible. And you bring up $5 million. Well, Louis Riddick, you're right here. You know, you're the renowned expert on the NFL in terms of this panel on this particular moment. And Doggy ain't too shabby doing sports talk radio for the last 40 years. How many times have we seen Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, the hierarchy of the Dallas Cowboys, the decision makers, make one decision after another in terms of their procrastination that cost them tens of millions of dollars? We've seen that. We've talked about it. We've lamented it. We lamented it last year, involving CD Lamb. We lamented it the year before that involving Dak Prescott. This is what we've had to deal with looking at the Dallas Cowboys historically. I can go back 30 plus years where they delayed paying Emmitt Smith and started out the season 0-2. Y'all both remember that. They had won the Super Bowl. They were destined to try and repeat. He didn't want to pay Emmitt Smith $13 million. They lost games 1 and 2 to start off the season. And then Jimmy Johnson, then the coach, came at the press conference, and for the first time, everybody in the football world had seen him speechless. He literally went like this. And then walked off because he was so frustrated that Emmitt Smith wasn't in camp. And I bring that up because I've said this, Doggy and Lewis, on several occasions on this show over the years. In all my years of watching a press conference for a contract signing, I have never seen anybody more ticked off than Emmitt Smith looked. Go back 30 plus years, like 33, 34 years. Go back and look at that press conference where Jerry Jones was sitting right next to Emmitt Smith, and he had a new contract, and he looked furious. Why? Because he said, why am I waiting? We won the chip. We've got the roster in place. Here we go. And he did it then after capturing a Super Bowl championship. So knowing that that is your daddy's MO, that it is something that he has done religiously, you're going to sit up there as the COO, knowing your dad's history spanning decades, how he religiously does this, and you're going to try to point the finger at Micah Parsons, who has stated emphatically and repeatedly he wants to be a Cowboy, wanted to sign early, was willing to take less at that particular moment in time, and you still refuse to do it. But now it's his fault and his agent, and he's holding it up. It's nonsense. Stephen Jones is lying. It's him. It's his daddy. It's the Cowboys. This ain't on Micah Parsons.
Mad Dog?
Well, first off, the year that Emmett did miss the 2 games, the Cowboys went out and won a Super Bowl. So he lost the 2 games, and they still won after they got him back. So even in that situation where he missed a couple, they came back. So if they signed Micah Parsons on September, 3rd, they are still going to be a very, very good team. And one other thing, can I say? Sure. Who knows more about money than Jerry Jones? He's got the best stadium in football, his licensing deal. The Cowboys are the #1 franchise, maybe the Yankees, but the Cowboys are the #1 franchise, or the Dodgers, but they're right there in all of sports. He took from Arkansas, he bought this great franchise and it's made it bigger than life. If anybody knows how to handle money, now I don't know if he knows how to handle a football team, but handle money, because he hasn't won since Jimmy Johnson. Yeah. It's Jerry Jones. He knows what he's doing financially. And you and I discussed this last week when Stevie was frolicking. You and I both know that at the end of the day, Micah Parsons, Thursday night against the Eagles, is going to be in uniform.
Yeah, but see, this is the National Football League. This isn't the National Marketing League. This isn't the National Hedge Fund League. This isn't the National Billionaires League, although some of these guys would probably call it that, in their own private time. It's about winning football games. And there's a salary cap. And there's only a certain amount of salary cap space to go around for every football team, and you have to manage that. We're not arguing about Jerry Jones' ability to make money. He knows how to make money. This is whether or not he knows how to timely get his guys signed to where it allows him then the ability to go out and sign other players, because he's getting them at prices that will ultimately prove to be palatable in terms of being able to then go out and afford maybe higher level players to surround those other players with. And when you were constantly waiting and saying, well, you know what, we're not going to go ahead and just set the market initially. Well, you're setting the market in the end anyway, because what you're doing is you're having to go up and go ahead and usurp everyone else that has gotten paid, and you're having to top all of those salaries in order to just get your guy in. It's funny to hear Stephen Jones say, it takes 2 to tango. Of course it does. Of course it does. It takes 2 guys to make a deal. It also takes, I would never question their guts or their willingness to go ahead and step out there and take a risk. But sometimes signing guys early does take a risk. It does involve risk. It involves you having to be able to project forward what you think your guy is going to be worth going forward in the future. And sometimes it may put you